Hello again, everyone. Just wanted to do a quick little mini guide on how impactful levels are versus the gear and support skills on your characters. I've had a few people comment on Reddit and just on the videos on YouTube about how what level they should be for certain content, and you always hear people say it's all about the gear, which I do agree with that. The game is mostly about the gear, but I really wanted to help people visualize exactly how impactful all of it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show 4 clips, and each one is going to have a different state of Hikari here doing some damage. So the first one is going to be level 99. He's not going to have any equipment on, and he's going to have 1 support skill, deal more damage. He needs that since the hits are going to be over 9,999. This is going to be needed just to more easily see how much of an increase we're getting for the clips after that. The second clip is going to be Hikari at level 1 with end game gear and no unique accessories. So he will be using the Giant's Club, which is a unique weapon, but everything else that he's going to be using will be things that you can get duplicates of. No Alpione's Amulet, no Fangs of Ferocity, Finisher's Claws, or anything like that. And again, he's still only going to have deal more damage. Then for the third one, it's going to be him at level 1 again with all that same gear, but we're going to put actual support skills on him that are designed for damage. And then finally in the fourth, we're going to have him with all those support skills, all those weapons, and bump him back up to 99, so you can see how the damage is going to scale as we go through it, and then we'll do a little summary afterwards to talk about what it all means. So let's go ahead and jump right into the first clip.
How's this? I fight for my friends. Allow me.
So, just a quick little note here before we kind of get into the recap of things. For those of you who may be wondering why I was using Hikari, who I've obviously invested a lot of my nuts over the course of the game into, it's mostly just because when you use the other characters that I did not invest as much into, their damage values were so low that it's not as easy to see how impactful it is. Although it's really the percentages that you should be looking at. It's just that with the higher damage values that Hikari was able to put out, it was easier to see how impactful some of these changes are, which is why I ended up choosing him. So, moving on to the first clip, hitting about 10.7k for each of those, other than the one non-crit hit that I missed, and that was, again, at level 99, with no equipment and no support skills. And then moving on to the next one, where we dropped into level 1, and we put good DPS-based gear on him, with only the Giant's Club being the only unique item, no Alpione's Amulet, no Finisher's Claws or anything like that, we were able to increase that damage to 13.9 thousand. Now, that's about a 30% roughly increase, and that doesn't necessarily mean that by doing this you're just going to get a 30% boost to your damage. I'll talk more about some of this damage scaling after the fourth clip, but still, it's a nice boost, and we're still hitting harder than our level 99 character just by putting gear on them. Then we move into our third clip, and then we add some support skills into the mix, and suddenly, even though we're still level 1, we still have the same equipment, we're dealing double the amount of damage that we dealt in the first clip, despite the fact that it's level 1 character. So hitting 22k at that point, and hopefully you can kind of see where this is going. Now, the fourth clip is very interesting, because as I'm sure some of you have noticed, the physical attack for swords on that fourth clip was 999, just like it was for the third clip. And some of you may be wondering, well, why did you hit for 54,000 if your physical attack stat is the same and everything else is the same, other than being boosted to level 99? And this is where I want to kind of get into how some of the damage scaling works in the game. There are factors that the game doesn't really tell you all that well that influence your damage. One is how high your attack is in relation to the enemy's defense, but another one is your level in relation to the enemy's level. Now, I don't know the exact calculations behind those, I just know that's a thing, which that is actually what boosted the damage from 22,000 up to 54,000. Now, the really important takeaway here is think of where we were in the very first clip. No weapons, but we were level 99, and we're hitting for 10.7k. We put equipment and support skills on our character, and suddenly that character is doing 4 times as much damage. That is the power of gear and support skills in this game, and to a degree subclasses. And that's kind of the main point of this video, is that don't feel pressured to like always get to a certain level to do stuff in the end game. Honestly, level 50 is fine for basically everything in the end game, as long as you got good equipment and you have a good team setup. And maybe you go to 60 if you want a little bit more room for error, but you don't need to get up to 70, 80, 90. Not everyone has time for that sort of stuff, and not everyone wants to do that. So don't feel like you really need to, because as you can see, it's really your equipment that is going to bring up your lethality and how effective your team is overall. So hopefully this was helpful for some of you, and I will see you all in the next video.